Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Conversations with Shawna Show. Thank you for those of you who are joining us live. Say hi so we can say hi back. And for those of you catching us on the replay, say hi so we can say hi later. Give us a hashtag replay. And if we have not met yet, hi there. I'm Shawna Roche, and I'm a mindset and sales success coach, founder of the Aligned Selling Method. I help heart-centered entrepreneurs to overcome their fears and limiting beliefs around selling so that they can create a new money story, embrace the mindset of selling is serving, and so that they can then in turn confidently sell their products, programs, and services in a way that feels as easy as having a conversation. And so today we have a guest interview. I'm so excited, and I invite you to join me in welcoming the lovely Susan Hayes. And Susan Hayes, oh my goodness, she's a spark activator. She's the CEO of Active Abundance, LLC. She helps others boldly and blissfully embrace the next chapter in their lives after significant loss. It has been through Susan's own significant loss of this passing of her beloved husband that she set her own current path. This loss has served as a catalyst for tremendous growth. It has exposed the unhealed wounds from her childhood. Through her journey, she has discovered powerful and magical tools and strategies that show others how to honor their grief, current and from childhood traumas, so that joy is the forefront once again. So prior to losing her husband, Susan served as a SET therapist, structural energetic therapist for children and adults. And as a SET therapist, she facilitated physical and emotional wellness through rehabilitative massage, breath work, brain detox, and remote healing. She has also been trained and certified in a multitude of energy healing modalities, such as Reiki, polarity, which she infuses into all that she offers. And Susan also draws upon her 20 years of experience as a teacher of young children. And it's through Susan's various professional and sacred quest experiences in which she has come to truly remember the mind, body, and spirit connection. The knowledge and wisdom gained through these experiences have equipped Susan with exceptionally valuable tools and strategies to facilitate the psychological and emotional well-being for others. And Susan empowers others as a keynote speaker, a transformational life coach, a writer, and intuitive healer. She is currently living in Italy and learning Italian. So thank you so much for being here today, Susan. We are going to be talking about her South Beach diet of joy. So welcome.
Thank you so much for that amazing introduction, Shawna. And I'm just so grateful to be here and to be here having this conversation with you. Hello, those of you who are catching us live, and hello to those who tune into the replay. So grateful for you. Looking forward to the conversation and to the fun. And did you pick that color on purpose? Because you totally tapped into me, Shawna, because I love pink.
You know what? I must have tapped into you. It was just, I was in my closet and I was like, oh, it's a pink day today.
Yep. And I know I'm looking to have more vibrant pink. I really like that pink you have, and I found some flowers. Whoops, it's that way in my backyard that have some of the colors that match your outfits. So how cool is that? There's already the synchronistic vibe going on here.
Exactly. I love it. Oh my goodness. So your experience and your life and everything is just, it's so powerful. So tell us about your business, what you do and why.
Whew. So as you can see, it's been a long, winding road to get here with some of those life experiences that really have given me the greatest amount of wisdom. And sometimes maybe that's why we've chosen, maybe even before birth, to have those experiences so that we can better do what we're meant to do. Currently, my passion is, as you mentioned, speaking with people as a keynote speaker, writing, so sharing the wisdom and the knowledge in those areas. And also I'm getting ready to launch we'll see, getting ready to launch I don't like to call it workshop. I know you have another name for it, but I keep changing the name, but it's a program that has right now 6 master classes and then implementation classes. And it's called Active Abundance, How to Connect to an Enriching Lifestyle. because it's not just about, it's not the health and the money. It's all of it together. Like, joy to me is the most important ingredient. And I realized yesterday with some conversations I had that everybody has their idea of what is that key ingredient. And for me, joy represents, if you're in joy, you're happy no matter what's going on in your life. So it doesn't mean like everything's wonderful, everything's perfect. It means that you have joy no matter what the circumstances are, and that you're able to shift your perception in such a way that you can truly embrace whatever life is seems to be throwing at you. As you and I both know, we create our own reality. There is that collective consciousness. So it's being able to facilitate that for others, and it's showing them, helping people to be aware of what is maybe blocking their joy or blocking them from having a more fulfilling life. And a lot of times it's those limiting belief systems we have. Yeah. And if we were aware of them, then we would do something about it. But oftentimes they're in that subconscious mind and they're running in the background. And even though we're affirming, I'm like, I want this, I want this. And it's like, it's not happening. Why? Because there's some other contradictory dominant thought that is overriding what we truly, truly desire. So just like you, we're just coming at it from different angles. You come more from the wealth angle and focusing on selling and all that. And so that's an important piece. Yet it still has to do with limiting belief systems is often why people struggle, whether it's finding that joy or having money. So I don't know if I said that succinctly enough, but anyways.
No, I love it. I love it. We have some people on with us. Hello, Linda. Hello.
Hi, Linda. Is it Footy?
Yes, it's Footy.
Hey, Footsie. It's Footy or Footsie? Can I call you Footsie?
Footsie. I love it. Footsie. That's awesome. Okay, there we go. We got Footsie. We got Lorraine with us here. We got Colleen.
Hey, Lorraine.
We have Anne-Marie. Hello, hello.
Hey, everybody. Some old homies. I know some of these people and the names. Thanks for hopping on.
Yeah. So let's talk a little about your story. The grief from loss and also from the loss of who we truly be.
Yes. So when I lost my husband, obviously there was a tremendous amount of grief with that, just in of it itself. But I realized, I sought out, just to feel better, I sought out so many healers, so many coaches. I mean, I dove in deeper than I usually do. And I realized that a lot of my grief was exasperated by the way that I was viewing what was going on with my husband, what had happened, and what had happened to me as a child. And so with grief, a lot of times people will feel this whole gamut of emotions. Guilt, by the way, guilt and shame being a lot to do with them, especially in my case where my husband had cancer. And I thought I should have been able to do something as a healer. Where did I go wrong as a wife? Well, how did he get so sick? And so there's all these emotions that have come up that I found had a lot to do with childhood events and limiting belief systems that I had adopted as a result. That's really where the grief can be so much worse. And so working through a lot of that, I noticed that my grief just dissipated really quickly. And it doesn't mean the grief isn't there, but I see other people and they're still on the couch. And I'm like, that's not me.
Yeah.
I'm on the couch sometimes. So this is what I want to make clear, that every now and then you got to be on that proverbial couch. It's the difference between, okay, something's coming up. It wants to be expressed. Slow down, allow yourself to feel it. And when you allow yourself to feel it, you actually spend less time overall on the couch. But when you're on the couch and you're kind of just like, I don't know what to do, and you're not really allowing yourself to express whatever's going on within you, you last longer on the couch.
Right. Wow. You know what? I love that. That's just like, I'm like, wow, that's like right there. And let's talk a little bit more, because you were talking about childhood. So things coming up, right? Because I never heard that before. And recently we've talked, it's come up a few times now, about grief and then trauma and things from your childhood that then show up when you've lost someone and you're in that grieving process, or whatever you want to call it. I was so surprised over that, going, oh my goodness, I never thought of that before. But I know somebody who's been stuck in that grieving part for like 5 years for the loss of a father.
Wow. And I lost my dad last year, by the way. And it was so much easier. I'm not saying I miss him, yet I was so much more at peace. And because of all the work I had done with my husband, and I felt like it's so hard to know with each story. So there's something that is perhaps unresolved with your friend and her dad, or feeling like maybe there wasn't some closure with something, is what I'm guessing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Like that's just so powerful because you talk a lot and you deal a lot with like limiting belief systems and those unexpressed emotions and true desires, right? And you had talked about before, you and I have even talked about, and I have here on my notes to ask you, and the connection with emotional and the dis-ease. So can you speak to that?
Yes. And so anytime we're feeling the emotions of like anger, frustration, sadness, whatever, it's because we're not really allowing ourselves to feel it. In particular, when we lose somebody, the grief can be so overwhelming that sometimes it's better not to feel it all, but we've still got to be able to siphon it out. And because otherwise we end up having some of the conditions, heart conditions, because of that, missing that love, or we ourselves become misaligned, and there's dis-ease in our body. That's really what it is, when you can either have ease in your body or dis-ease. And when we're not expressing how we authentically feel, because just choose joy, right? You lost your husband. This is what somebody told me, and they meant well. Just choose joy. You're choosing to be sad. I was like, and ultimately, Shawna, ultimately it's a choice. However, it doesn't feel like it when you're in it. And if you're not, and if you've got all these lower vibrating emotions within you that you haven't expressed, there's no space for choosing joy. There's no space. That has to happen first. You've got to be able to allow yourself to feel. Do it in a way that doesn't feel overwhelming. I mean, there's Shawna, there's myself, there's so many people that you can seek out that can help you if you're feeling like you're overwhelmed with emotions and not truly feeling like you're expressing them the way you need to. You may not even be aware. People are often not even aware, and that's the tricky part. But if people are feeling dis-ease, they're feeling conditions, they're feeling fatigued and not feeling well, there's emotions that want to be expressed, I can assure you. I've been really tired lately, Shawna. And so I know, I'm like, okay, I'm feeling tired. I'm resisting. There's something that wants to be expressed and felt, and I'm ignoring it. So I've been resting more because I'm like, there's something here that's getting my attention. And it's here for most of us if we're not feeling that complete ease in our bodies.
You know, what you said there is just, it's so powerful because we are pushing through each day and powering through and powering through. And I know for myself, for years, I never allowed myself to feel the feelings. I was constantly pushing stuff down and pushing it down and pushing it down. And you feel it come up. It's like, nope, I'm dealing with this now. And I just kept pushing it. I wouldn't allow it to come up. And then once I finally started working with healers and coaches and allowed the emotions to come up, then, oh my God, I couldn't stop them from coming up. I was like, what is happening to me?
Yeah, well, I don't want to say it's crazy because it's crazy good, but yeah, because it's been like stuffed down for so long that all of a sudden, I don't know if Bernie was like, what the heck is going on with my Shawna? I would get that from my, especially when I did the set work, I would get that from husbands. Like, my husband wants to know what's going on with me. I'm crying all the time. I go, do you feel better when you do that? Like, yeah, I go, tell them you're healing. Just tell them you're healing. It's all good. They're like, okay. I go, they're just not used to it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, I've been very fortunate. Bernie has been on he's been on this entire journey with me. So he knows when I'm having my moments and when emotions are coming up, and he's so supportive and he's so wonderful. And he's like, and he'll actually just say to me, is like, just let him come up, babe, just let it come up. And then I just like,
oh, I knew I liked him.
he's so amazing about it because he's been on this journey with me. So he understands along the way when I'm going through stuff. And then, I'll just be having my moment. And he's like, okay, what can I do to support you in this moment? Right. And I'm like, I just need to be alone with this, and then I'll come and get you. And he's like,
Aw.
so it works beautifully. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, thank God. Thank God. No, I met him in person once, and his energy is beautiful. Your energy together is beautiful. So it just amplifies it, which is nice. Oh, wow. I will have that again.
I know, right? It's like, oh my goodness. Oh, Laura's joining us. Hello, Laura.
Hey, Laura.
Love Susan Hayes, a wonderful woman full of energy and cheerful spirit. Yes, she is.
Aw, thank you.
Eric, thank you for joining us. I'm like, oh my goodness, there's so many things I want to ask you. You're just such an incredible woman. I mean, I love you. I love the work you're putting out into the world. So let's talk about the joy and alignment, your true desires, expression, emotions. Like let's talk about that and your South Beach joy diet.
Yeah. So the self-paced diet of joy is not published yet. I guess it's divine timing, but I will let you all know what it is. The reason why I call it the South Beach Diet of Joy, for those of you who maybe aren't familiar with Miami Beach, South Beach is an area in Miami Beach, and it's actually where I moved to shortly after my husband passed, when I was advised not to. Talk about limiting belief systems. It was like, no, you can't move. You can't make any major decisions. You can't spend your life insurance money on a luxury high-end. A lot of things I let go of because it felt right in my heart. I had just lost my husband. I wanted to be by the beach. I wanted to be where my heart sings. And so I chose to be in South Beach, Miami, near the healing ocean, 2 blocks. And I'll tell you, it is where I got my joy back. It's where I got my joy back. So that's number one, why I chose that title. Number 2 is the famous South Beach Diet of Joy. For those of you who know that diet that was popularized, I think it was in 2003. And it was all about weight loss with high lean protein and low carbs, something like that. The difference is my diet is expansive. It's about expanding your awareness of what you can let go of in terms of living belief systems that may be blocking your joy, so that you have way more fun in your life, because you deserve it. You deserve it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But even around, whoops, sorry.
No, go ahead. Keep going.
Even especially as being, when I first lost my husband as a widow, it's like, oh, you got to wear black. You can't make any major decisions. You got to reinvest the money. You got to get back to work right away. And it was just like all this stuff. And I was like, no. And those are the kind of things I talk about in my book, that what is it ultimately that each and every one of you want, like truly, truly want, that if you could have anything in the world, no excuses, like, oh, I don't have the money. I have family commitments. There's no way I could do that. It's like letting go of all that and just having the wild dream that I think, oh, what is her name that talked about it on the call the other day? Oh, is it Linda? Or I think it was Linda.
Okay.
Having the wildest dream, like allowing yourself to have it. Like, yeah, why not?
Yeah.
That's what that's about. And you can do that when you're letting go of these limiting belief systems and allowing yourself to express yourself. To me, it's those 2 basic things.
Yeah.
It's allowing yourself to express yourself, those emotions that are suppressed, authentically, and truly, truly honoring what you want, not what somebody else wants, not what you think you're supposed to want, not what you think your dream is supposed to be, but what you truly, truly desire deep down within. You deserve it.
Yeah. That's so powerful that you've said all this. You've created this through the loss and the grief. Like the woman you are today, who you've become through all of that, is really remarkable. Because I where you're at right now and what you're sharing and what you've put together, it's so powerful. And like I said, I'll go back again to how you talked about the grief and how it's like childhood and it's like limiting beliefs. that can keep you stuck in that, and we don't have the awareness around it. And I was talking to my husband last night about awareness. We were talking about it. I'm like, some people aren't aware, they just don't know this is going on or that's going on. And I said, so it's up to us as coaches to help them have that awareness, and then to help them move forward step by step by step. And it's so powerful. I love it. When is your book going to be coming out?
Whew, well, right now the plan is beginning of July. My editor is right now away on vacation in another project, and so I'm really waiting on him. He's my editor, my illustrator, I'm illustrating the back of my book. So I'm waiting on that.
Yes. Oh, and then Laura also talked about, Susan wrote a book on widow wisdom, an awesome book, heartfelt, written with practical tools for healing after loss. Very powerful. Oh, yes.
Thank you, Laura. Yeah, I forget about that because I'm working. This one is, it's interesting because I'm trying to make sure the light isn't on it. This one was really my journey. Within the first year of losing my husband, I was journaling, and I realized a lot of my experiences would be helpful to others. And it actually has my husband's name on it, Hector Lopez, because when I would write, I would get a lot of information in Spanish, and his first language was Spanish. It was like he was downloading. I'm like, okay, what do I share? He's like, this. How about this? He's like, no, don't share that. That's too personal. So because my stepsons, I raised two boys, and we just lost connection. They pulled away when my husband died. And so the grief was just compounded for me. It was really, I was in a tough place, really, really tough place.
Yeah.
But because of that, it really pushed me to seek out the help so that I could heal.
Yeah. Wow. And so that book, Your Wisdom, how to find, can you hold it up again? Wisdom, how to find the joy. Yeah. Okay, there you go. Amidst the teardrops of grief. So that's available on Amazon now?
Yes, it is. Yep. And it, that has a chapter in it called The South Beach Diet of Joy. And it ended up being a very popular chapter from those that had reached out to me and read it. So it's kind of like I expanded on that one chapter.
Okay, perfect. I think I actually have the link for that. Let's see if this works, if I can put it in the comments. I'm not sure where because I'm streaming to my personal page, my business page, and my group. So I'm not sure where the link is going to show up, but we'll put it in. Oh, I think
listen, I'm just impressed with everything you can do with all this. So, hey, kudos to you.
So there we go. Oh, there it goes. Okay, we got it. We've got the link in there. So perfect.
Thank you, Laura, for the shout out.
Yes, thank you. So that's the book. That's the link to purchase the book. And so you talked at the beginning, so I wanted to circle back, but I wanted to hear everything else we chatted about. Let's talk about your program a little bit.
Okay, so the program was developed 2 years ago, but it just wasn't the right time. And there's a lot that's been updated. So it's more where I'm going with the energy of it and not feeling like it has to look a certain way. I have this thing called perfectionism. I think you can relate, where we're working so hard and we have so much control over what's going to look like. Yet people are constantly changing. We're constantly changing. The planet is changing. So it's having a general enough outline that I can make changes according to the people who show up in the program.
Perfect.
So yeah, and also adding classes as may be. Right now, it's 6 master classes, and so it may change depending on the energy of the next group of people to come in. So that's where it is right now, and it's really focusing on how to let go. It's cleaning up within, so that you can be aware of what you truly want. It's getting clarity on that, because it's not just choosing joy. If you've got all this other stuff going on, number one. Number two, you don't know what you really want.
Yes.
So it's really helping to get clarity on that, so that life is fun no matter what.
I love it. And you know what? It's like, you're such my girl. You're so my girl. Because I love
that. Hold on. So you already woo.
I think that, like, to me personally, I think that's what's needed in programs, right? We're not all cookie cutters. Everybody that's signing up isn't all the same. And I do that in my program, as you know. I
Yes, I am in Shawna's program, and it is amazing. She's amazing. She's incredibly talented, incredibly talented. So if you're looking for confidence in selling, there's so many talented people out there. You're so talented, yet sometimes we just get a little fearful of selling ourselves, especially when your talent is you.
yeah, yeah,
So
exactly.
yeah,
That's
check it
the
out.
hardest thing. Thank you. Thank you. But I love that you said that because it is feeling into the energies and shifting and changing. And to me, that is a gift and a talent on its own,
Hmm.
right? So
Yeah,
it's
and you got that talent.
and embrace that for yourself too, that's how you're creating your program, because it is so beautiful to be able to do that and go, okay, so this week we're going to change it up a little. Here's what I'm feeling into the energy for this week. Here's what I'm feeling everybody needs. Because sometimes we are so in our heads writing programs and putting stuff together, we think, oh, this is what people are going to need, and then we get in, we're teaching it, and then all of a sudden it's like I did that this week. I'm like, yeah, we're just going to put that aside and we're going to focus on here, and we're not going to move forward until everybody is ready to go. Because so many times we take those programs where we're like 3 modules ahead, but yet we were stuck 3 modules back, and then we don't get what we want out of it, so we don't get the results. And then, and then all the negativity and all the stuff comes up. It's like, oh, that was a waste, and all this other stuff, right? So it's being able to shift and pivot your program as you go along, I think is so beautiful.
Yeah,
So
and you do that so well. And so that's one of the reasons why I really, really like your program. And even before signing up, we talked about that. And I said, oh my God, you were already talking about having changed it because you were already feeling the energy of the participants who had signed up. Like you were already tapping into the energy. I said, okay, this is going to be good. That's why I was excited about signing up. And it's just, as a teacher for 20 years, I mean, I wouldn't like, if I had teachers who were not quite getting a concept, I wouldn't be like, too bad, we're moving ahead. It's the same thing. It really is. It's the same thing.
yeah, I love it. So your program, when are you looking at it starting?
I'm looking at the end of July. I want to say I'm going to say the end of July. I thought it would be sooner. Things seem to be on a different timeline.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. I know what that's like.
In the book, I'll tell you, Shawna, it was my perfectionist. I was already starting to edit it before I finished it. And I was getting so confused. My sister was like, what are you doing? She goes, how can you be in flow if you're already editing it? And I went, I'm not in flow because I'm too busy editing it. She goes, exactly. So I had to let that go and just finish writing it so that I could actually get it done.
Nice. Yeah. I love that because it is. We are. It's like it's got to be this way and this way, and then it's like, we're just gonna trust, and it's gonna, yeah. I love it. So everybody can keep their eye out for your upcoming program. Yep.
Yes, the program, and then the book, The Self Started Joy, will have a couple of flamingos on it.
Oh, I
so
love
it's
it.
all about fun, and it's actually representing the 2 flamingos are in the shape of a heart, and they represent our masculine and feminine energies, and it's really about balancing our masculine and feminine energies so that we're completely in harmony with what feels right for us.
Oh my
So,
goodness. I just got chills you saying that, like literally chills, because that has been my journey the last so many years, is balancing my masculine and my feminine energy, because that is truly where you come into harmony and you experience the ease and the flow and the joy and all the things. Because I lived in masculine energy for so many years and I was aware of it, right? So it was then again, it came back to that awareness. So I love that. I'm so excited. I can't wait to read your book.
and what was the thing I was going to say? I wanted to give that as a gift, and I'm trying to, I don't know, we can talk after as how the chapter one I wanted to give as a free gift.
Perfect.
It was also a message from the power animal Flamingo, a beautiful message that came through from the power animal, the spirit animal Flamingo, and then chapter 1. But we can maybe talk about that after, how I might be able to do that, because I've been trying other ways and it hasn't worked for me. So,
Okay, I'll help you with that.
Shawna.
So is your power animal a flamingo?
Right now it is. I have a couple. We can choose. It's always been a wolf. I've always had a wolf to give me courage, and brave. It's all about unity. But the flamingo lately is very much one of my power animals. Absolutely.
I love it.
Absolutely. They're all about balance.
Yes.
And they can live in pretty much anywhere in the world in the harshest conditions, which I did not know that.
Oh, wow.
They have, their legs are made in such a way they can be in like caustic, toxic environments where other chemicals would just eat up and corrode other animals. And they're like tough. They're
Wow.
tough. They're resilient. And that's another reason why I was so drawn to the flamingo and so drawn to put it on my cover, because they really, really are an amazing animal. And they turn pink because of what they eat. So what we eat and what we think, they go hand in hand. What we think is going to affect what we eat, and what we eat is going to be affected by what we think.
Exactly.
So, yeah, what do you think?
Wow.
So think pink.
Yeah, exactly. Think pink. I was intuitively guided this morning.
I'm telling you. And I love it.
Oh my goodness. I love this conversation. Thank you so much for being here today. This has just been amazing. And like I said, for everybody, I've put the link for the book in Amazon for wisdom, how to find the joy amidst the teardrops of grief. And then follow Susan on Facebook. Yeah, you can check her out on Facebook. And then, you have a children's book too. Okay, let's talk about that for a minute before we end this.
Poor Ollie. I forgot about Ollie. You know why, Shawna? Because I went to upload it on Ingram and it just didn't work out. It was, I was originally selling it myself, and where I'm moving all the time, I decided to finally upload it, and I had to change the dimensions of it. And Ingram Spark just said the resolution wasn't good, and my illustrator is on another assignment. So I'm waiting for him. It was just like things I'm like, hey, it's not the divine timing.
Yeah.
Ollie Oddball, but he's coming out.
He's coming out too. Love it. Love it. Awesome. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for those of you who are joining us live and on the replay. Sending much love to everybody, and we will see you again next week. Take care. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shawna, and thank you for all of you tuning in. Much peace, love, and joy.
Yes. Thank you.
Ciao.
Take care. Bye.